welcome to the stage our GAPABA board member. He's a man of the Golden Rolodex. Michael Wu is the man. He's a chief legal officer of Bath and Body Works. Michael is introducing Tony West, this year's recipient of the General Counsel Diversity Champion Award and Senior Vice President, Chief Legal Officer, and Corporate Secretary of Uber. And he gets so much attention that they're calling for bids for him to come on up here. He's that good. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that good, right?
I'll tell you, it's great to be back in Atlanta. So Tony West is Senior Vice President, Chief Legal Officer, Corporate Secretary of Uber Technologies. He leads a global team of over 600 folks in legal, compliance, ethics, and security. I'm not going to recite the rest of Tony's bio, as you can read it in the program and online. I learned this lesson years ago when I attended an Association of Corporate Counsel annual in-house counsel gala and watched and cringed when the Chicago chapter president introduced the keynote speakers, James Carville and Mary Matlin, by reading their multi-page bios verbatim. When James Carville reached the podium, he remarked, and excuse me, I'm going to try to do this with my best Cajun accent. Well, that's the first damn time I suffered through jet lag listening to my own bio. So I'm going to spare you the jet lag, given Tony's long and distinguished career in the public and private sectors, which would equal, if not surpass, the career of the raging Cajun James Carville. Before I describe Tony's exemplary work in the DEI space, I want to tell you a fun fact about him, as this is my signature icebreaker at General Counsel panels and dinners that I periodically organize. Tony's first job in politics was an internship with GAPABA's very good friend, Norm Mineta's congressional office at age 11. So rest in peace, Norm. But I just really want to thank Tony for sharing that great fun fact. Tony has been extraordinarily committed to DE&I throughout his career in the public sector with the Department of Justice and at both Pepsi as well as Uber. Tony is part of a leadership team that was appointed in 2017 to reform Uber. Tony and the management team have committed to metrics on hiring diverse talent for positions of leadership and tying executive compensation to those goals. In terms of Tony's department, 80% of his leadership team are women and 30% are women of color. Uber established a CLO DEI council that Tony works with to promote engagement and action on Uber's racial equity commitments across all levels of the legal department. For example, the council implemented a 21-day racial equity challenge, encouraging the team to become more intentional in better understanding and promoting racial equity. The program has received such high engagement that the council has helped to scale the program company-wide. Under Tony's leadership, Uber is utilizing its purchasing power to put law firm diversity as a top performance metric for its preferred counsel program. The program is rigorous, using proprietary formula that Tony and his legal team developed while at Pepsi to assess law firm commitments and progress toward DEI goals. So, Tony, if you can let me in on a little bit of that secret, I'd love to learn so I can implement at Bath and Body Works. So please join us in recognizing a champion of diversity and inclusion, my good friend, Tony West. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. First, let me thank Timothy. Let me thank AB, Bonnie, everyone at GAPABA for this award. Michael, thank you for that very kind introduction and for your leadership. Want to congratulate tonight's other honorees, and I want to give a special shout out to my Uber colleagues who are here tonight. Thank you for being here with me tonight. Appreciate it. So look, I realize I am the last act before intermission, so I'm going to be quick. I grew up in San Jose, California, as Michael alluded to, and even though we had a very small black community there, mine was a very diverse community growing up. I played with kids whose Italian and Irish families were long a part of San Jose's civic life, kids who were part of San Jose's large Latino population that harken back to the proud Mexican heritage of that city, and kids whose families comprised that city's vibrant AAPI community, particularly those families who immigrated to the United States in successive generations from Japan, from Vietnam, from the Philippines. And for many, many years, I lived in San Jose's Japantown, which was really one of the most vibrant parts of our city's downtown. In fact, it was San Jose that gave this country its first Japanese-American mayor of a major city, Norm Mineta. And it was Norm, Norm served this country with such distinction, I mean, not just as a mayor and a congressman, but as a cabinet secretary in two different presidential administrations, two presidents from two different political parties. I think that speaks volumes about the kind of man that Norm Mineta was. And I was lucky, as Michael said, that Norm was my first political mentor. At 11 years old, he gave me that unpaid internship in his office, filing constituent mail, and I loved it. In the years between then and his death earlier this year, Norm always made time to offer me his advice and his guidance. And what I learned through those experiences really helped me to appreciate the magic that can happen when people of diverse backgrounds and life experiences, when they come together. And that's one reason why I'm so deeply honored by this recognition that you've given me, General Counsel Diversity Champion. And it's why I think all of us, each of us, has to be a diversity champion. Because if our history teaches us anything, it's that the tapestry of difference that makes up our multicultural society, that is an asset. It's not a detriment. And the lesson that I've learned throughout my career, throughout my life, is that if you want to bring real, positive, lasting change to any institution, you have to institute and imbue and infuse a commitment to diversity in the DNA of how you work. Diversity can't be a side project or some box that you check, only when it's fashionable or perhaps when it's convenient or when someone is looking. We have to incorporate diversity into every aspect of our thinking. I've long believed that if you endeavor to build a team that is composed of the best and the brightest, that team will be a diverse team. Professor Saito and Judge Wong, they understood this. They understood this well when they founded GAPABA 30 years ago. They knew that when we strive to bring diverse voices around the table, our decisions in politics, in business, they're better. Our outcomes in policy and the law, they are more inclusive. As Americans, we're more successful because the enduring truth of our nation is that our diversity makes us strong. It's what makes us exceptional. And that's true. That's true despite the effort by some to try and weaponize diversity, to try and emphasize our differences, to try and sow seeds of discord and discontent and fear. But here's why I believe that kind of effort will ultimately fail. Anyone who works with a diverse team, or perhaps like me, lives in a diverse family, we know that there is something else, something that comes when we spend enough time talking to, working beside, laughing with, and loving people who have beliefs, life experiences, and perspectives that are different from our own. We come to realize that those differences notwithstanding, there is so much more we share in common. We share a national history. Yes, it's one that is sometimes painful, sometimes difficult, but it is also one that is inspiring. We share a common destiny, tied together in what Dr. King called an inescapable network of mutuality. We share a desire that any one of us should enjoy the freedom to pursue opportunity, bounded only by our talents, bounded only by our willingness to work hard, and not by any arbitrary prejudices or stereotypes. Because what President Kennedy told us 60 years ago is still true today. We all breathe the same air. We all cherish our children's futures. And we are all mortal. So that's what we share. And when you and I, when we stand up to champion diversity, that is what we are striving for, to make this imperfect union a little bit more perfect. And I believe that is a fight worth having, my friends, especially in times like these. So, GAPABA, thank you for this award. It means a great deal, and thanks to each of you for what you do every day to promote diversity in the legal profession.